Hi, friends, and welcome to the very first episode of StrongHER Voices. I'm so glad you're here. Since this is our starting point together, I wanted to use this first episode to introduce myself, share my story, and let you know why this podcast exists and why I feel so passionately about walking through this season of life with you. Let's dive in. Welcome to StrongHER Voices, the podcast for women navigating perimenopause, menopause, and midlife with strength, confidence, and community. I'm your host, Ashley Basilio. I figured we should start at the beginning. So today I'll tell you a little bit about me, how I got here, and why I feel called to create this space for us. My path into women's health and fitness wasn't traditional. I was the first in my family to go to college. I chose engineering. I earned my bachelor's in engineering science from Penn State in 1998 with a minor in bioengineering. And then I went on to complete a master's in manufacturing management, which is a dual degree in business and engineering in 1999, also at Penn State. After graduation, I got married, moved, and started what would be a 20-plus career in corporate America, working for companies like Lucent Technologies, Harley-Davidson, and Knoll. But around that same time, something unexpected happened. I joined a local dance aerobics class just for fun. The instructor was out on maternity leave, and the business owner herself was teaching. After my very first class, she came up to me and said, "You really caught on quickly. You're a great dancer. How would you like to teach this class?" I was over the moon. So I trained with her and eventually took over the class and ended up teaching for her for about 10 years. My classes grew huge, and what made it so rewarding was the relationships I built with the women who came week after week. Looking back, that's where the seed was planted, the joy of combining movement, community, and support. Now, during this time, I had 2 boys. I worked part-time, balancing motherhood and career and teaching fitness. Eventually, I decided I wanted to do more. I got additional certifications as a group fitness instructor and personal trainer through AFA, and later as a health coach through ACE. In 2012, while still working part-time at Knoll, I launched my own side business, Get Fit with Ashley. I started small. I had 1 class, 1 client, but the dream had been born. In 2014, I went back to corporate full-time, and Get Fit with Ashley went on pause. But during the pandemic in 2021, I had a moment of clarity. My corporate job no longer fit. I'd been demoted, I was unhappy, and staring at a future that felt bleak. I knew I was meant to do more with my gifts. So I resigned, and Get Fit with Ashley was reborn with new classes, a YouTube channel full of free workouts, a Fit Talk blog, and a renewed passion for helping people move and feel better. And then life hit me with a new twist. In my late 40s, my cycle became irregular. I went to my doctor concerned, and she just laughed and said, "Oh, you're in perimenopause." And that was it. No conversation, no information, no guidance. I was stunned and honestly a little frustrated because suddenly I was experiencing depression, anxiety, hot flashes, irritability, dryness, weight gain, brain fog, and no one had prepared me for it. So I did what I always do when faced with a challenge, and I went looking for answers. First, I found a new GYN. Then I researched and studied, and eventually I earned a certification from Girls Gone Strong and became a menopause health coach specialist. With that knowledge, I overhauled my coaching programs to serve women specifically in perimenopause and menopause. I also launched StrongHER Together, my private community, where women can connect, get support, and learn through monthly masterclasses. We hold each other accountable through challenges and coaching. And now, this podcast, StrongHER Voices, is just the next step because it's not just about my voice. It's about the voices of the women I've coached, the experts I've learned from, the conversations we've had in the StrongHER community, and the women I have yet to meet. My mission is simple: to create a space where we stop feeling silenced, dismissed, or left in the dark, and instead find clarity, confidence, and power together. I am ready to amplify women's voices, including yours. Together, we're writing the menopause story, not as an ending, but as a beginning. Thank you for listening to StrongHER Voices. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to follow the show so you never miss an episode. And if you're ready to go deeper, come join our community at getfitwithashley.com/stronger, where you'll find connection, accountability, expert coaching, and the support you deserve. Don't forget to use code VOICES for $25 off your membership. And just a quick reminder, this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Please consult your healthcare provider for guidance that's right for you. And until next time, remember, this isn't a pause, it's power.